Let's get fucking massive!
Shout out to Cameron Parker for the vest. He's a hungry underdog. Yes, he's doing big things, but what you're going to see me do now is a little bit of back shaping. Improvised lat pull down with a single arm grip in each one. I focus on bringing my arms out to get a good contraction and good width in the lats. I do 10 reps like that, then I lean back. Everyone else in the gym probably thinking, what the hell is he doing? I'm pulling back like I would as if I was sat upright, but engaging the rhomboids and the rear delts and the upper traps as well to get thickness. Because when you stand sideways, you don't want to be paper thin. Watch.
Big stretch at the top. Louis, explain to the camera and the audience about the time and the tension you put your back under. Also, how you're using your elbows to pull back with your back rather than engaging the biceps and the forearms.
Yeah, well, one of the most common things when people train their back, they get a real good grip and they grip the bar like so. Logic tells us and physiology that when you wrap your thumb around the bar, you pull with your bicep. You know, it's impossible to get good growth in the back when you're engaging the bicep because it's what you naturally want to do. So what I do is I focus on drawing my elbows back to get a good contraction in the lat, and also we use time and the tension. We like to keep the tension in the muscles throughout the whole rep range. What we don't do is you don't yank the weight down and then let go of the negative. We keep it nice and smooth and keep that tension and mind to muscle connection in the back. Louis Davis.
How important is it to oxygenate the muscle whilst doing high reps?
Right then, oxygenated blood to the muscle decreases lactic acid buildup. The less lactic acid in the muscle, the more reps that you do, the more blood you get in there, the more growth.
And briefly explain how muscle mass means you need more oxygen for the muscle.
Yeah, obviously the more muscle that you got, the more oxygen that you need. A lot of big people don't use high reps, so they're not used to getting oxygenated blood into the muscle, which is why they fail early on. Terrible twins don't have just a desirable body, we have an efficient body, and that's what it's all about. You know, you got to be big, you got to be strong, but more importantly, you got to be efficient.
Yeah. Elbows in, Louis. 1 inch back. There.
Right then, YouTube, so what you just seen there was an own improvisation of an exercise. A seated row and a stood up barbell row. But I've got a nice grip on there, and what I like to do is when I'm competing is mimic the movements that I do on stage when I show certain muscles. In this occasion it was my back. What I want you guys to do at home, practice a suicide grip so you don't engage the biceps. Bend the legs ever so slightly, stand up nice and tall, bring the elbows back, keeping your back nice and straight. Hold your squeeze for about half a second, then let go. When you release the negative part of the repetition, stretch your arm all the way over, but don't let the arm go straight. Once you do that, you have to engage the bicep to pull it. So keep an obtuse angle on the arm.
Tell the followers, Louis, how important our high rep range is and what we use it for.
Well, basically the high rep range is really important because we believe in building strength through endurance. We've trained with a lot of strength athletes and they've got a lot of ligament damage and a lot of joint pain. You know, you've got to be stronger for longer. You've got to be able to go for a certain amount of period of time, over weeks, months and even years, injury free.
Will you explain to the followers how doing high rep ranges has helped us build quality muscle rather than that soft, hard, bloated look?
Yeah, because what we find is when you cause dramatic trauma to the muscle through repetition, your body will utilize all the protein and carbohydrates that you eat. Everyone knows the terrible twins cheat on their diets from time to time. People say that's wrong. The science and the book say it's wrong. It's not, because we've got our own methods through the amount of reps that we do. When you're expending so many calories during exercise, when you cheat ever so slightly, your body just utilizes it.
Will you quickly explain how our TTT style training methods helps us aerobically when we're walking around at 20, 21, 22 stone?
Yeah, there's nothing worse when you're 20, 21 stone. When we first got into bodybuilding, you know, we were training like powerlifters and putting on the weight. We have to lose 5, 6 stone to get on show. The importance of the high repetitions helps us in everyday life. I've got dogs to walk, you know, I've got a lady, Reese has got a lady, so it's important that you stay fit.
Finish off, give YouTube a positive message.
Anything is possible. Limited beliefs stem from what you've experienced in the past. As a grown adult, it's important that you put yourself in and around positive situations so you form new beliefs, new boundaries, and understand that limited beliefs are a myth.